You're beyond saving.
Okay.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Can we talk for a minute about how dumb and evil the Greens party in Australia is? Seriously, they've hamstrung the entire energy sector in Australia, driven cost of living up during a time where we're having a housing crisis, meaning some people just never be able to have a house. They're empowering China with all the minerals, basically mined from either Chinese or Chinese-owned slave mines, The slave mines, by the way, in and of themselves are absolutely horrible. A ton of them are like child slave mines. The mines themselves are environmental disasters that more than cancel out any gain you get from green energy pretty much ever. The lifespans, because of the air quality in the mines, basically condemn like all these child slaves to early death. And like the Greens are in total support of this, total ideological support of this, due to their boogeyman of climate change. Like, if that wasn't enough, think about what driving energy costs up means as well. Everyone is going to become more desperate, just trying to get by, basically. They're going to look for money in any place they can, any subsidy they can, which makes them more susceptible to corporate influence that has a far left green agenda. They're going to need any government money they can get, which means they're going to be more susceptible to any totalitarian government policy and agenda. Like, it's a complete catastrophe. It's a complete nightmare. At this point, they've got to just be considered evil. Like, that's to say nothing about, you know, every single media outlet, well, every single state-funded media outlet in Australia basically supporting it. You have a couple of small independent media outlets like Rebel News, and like, they're just like in the streets, like violently, verbally assaulted, physically assaulted, just by all these friggin' completely indoctrinated Australian leftists fresh out of uni that have absolutely no clue what they're doing. Then on top of that, we've got like an e-safety commissioner. By the way, I would not say a single word about the e-safety commissioner if she was going after like online child trafficking, online trafficking, that sort of thing on the dark web. I would say nothing about it. What's she do instead? She goes after like hate speech, which is like the most fucking made up thing I've ever heard in my life. You've already got incitement to violence and that sort of thing. You've already got like verbal battery, but like this new hate speech thing, it's just complete political like attack. It's like political partisan, you know, speech attack. It's crazy. It only goes after one side of the political spectrum. It is never balanced. It's just complete bullshit. Like, and it's not even like, you know, step by step. It's not even like a small encroachment. It was like a global attempt to censor Bishop Marmari's stabbing by an Islamist jihadi, and they did it to try and defend their bloody mass immigration like policy, which is insane. And like, the argument for mass immigration is that it increases global domestic spending and everything, but they just completely ignore how much of that is like benefits. There was like a study in England that showed like 70% of Islamic women, like, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not racist against like Islamic people. Islam isn't even a race. I'm definitely not racist against Arabs. Arab Christians are some of the strongest people in the world. But like, the fact that 70% of them in England are on welfare and the men have multiple wives should tell you that a ton of it is just benefit. A ton of it is just recycled benefits going through the system. That in itself was made by taxation, which is just a global drain on the economy. It's completely retarded. But all of that rant is assuming that leftists are after, what would you say, the welfare of everyone. I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe the leftists are. I think the leftists are like Marx himself. I think they're into devil worship. I think the goal is to make the material conditions absolutely horrible. I'm pretty sure the goal is to make material conditions that bad that we will require a centralized government solution. The problem is, every centralised government solution in history that has actually worked hasn't been leftists. It's been far right. Think about it. Franco, Pinochet. Yes, they were horrible dictators. They were far rightist. What did they do? They mass executed leftist agitators, and then they got the economy back on track, even though they were massively corrupt. What has every single leftist dictator done? Destroyed the economy. Historically, Mao's Great Famine, leftist dictator, absolutely destroyed the economy, starved tens of millions to death. What did Stalin do? Same thing. Same thing. Like, okay, even worse in his case, because he had to contend with Hitler, who was also an authoritarian leftist, by the way. He had to contend with Hitler. What did he do? He had to gut his army because a competent army would have seen what he was doing and stopped him. What happened after he gutted his army? Operation Barbarossa. He got absolutely smashed at the start of the war. He lost tens of millions of people at the start of the war. Anyway, I'm convinced that the stigma around communism is not nearly strong enough. First, you have Marx himself, which writes a bloody weird play about, summoning devil powers as a violinist. He himself was a piece of shit. He was like a horrible piece of shit. He freaking cheated on his wife. Some people say he raped his maid, by the way. Got her pregnant, abandoned the child. He was against marriage. He was like a horrible, lazy piece of shit. Never worked a day in his life. Didn't wash for some reason. Had horrible boils all over himself. Openly mocked churches and went into churches to openly mock priests as they were doing their sermons, pretty much mocking the very people that were supporting him through benefits and such. And then you go to universities and they say, oh, it's a viable economic method. It's not. It just robs people. It robs people and stays in power through, what would you say, military force. That's to say, nothing. To bring it back to the Greens, right? So, the Greens are, openly blocking access to areas on bridges, walking through areas, stuff like that in their protest, yes? They're doing that largely with the repressive tolerance of the police. The police are allowing them to do this. I don't know if you know anything about Australia. We don't have a proper Bill of Rights. We have to go all the way back to the Magna Carta. We don't have we don't have the freedom of movement. We don't have the right to free speech. We don't have a First Amendment. We don't have a Second Amendment. For a while there during COVID, we didn't even have the right to medical autonomy. It's just a complete nightmare. Australia's a joke. And the more and more I think about it, the more I think England is actually responsible for this. Because we're a colony of England. We're nothing like America. We don't have our a proper Bill of Rights. We're a weird offshoot. We fall under the authority of England. But if you have a look at England, the same thing. They don't have a Second Amendment there. They're not allowed guns. There's no liberty. We're under the thumb of some weird king, and the king himself has a weird satanic portrait. I don't know if you saw that. What's going on? Australia should become a republic. It should have its own proper Bill of Rights. In that Bill of Rights, there should be the right to self-defense, even against police, by the way. If, for example, they, assault you while you're protesting a mandate against a jab which has increased excess death by 10% or something. Unequivocal right to free speech. That is absolutely important. Right to bear arms. You should be able to have enough weaponry to defend yourself, your property. Obviously, property rights. the communists are completely silly when they say you don't have property rights and the government should be able to take whatever it wants from you. I don't think you get much stupider than that, in my opinion. The right to free movement, you should be able to travel wherever you want in Australia if you're a citizen. Like, that sort of thing. Basic things that you would assume we already had, but apparently we don't have, because we're run by, like, some stupid committee, and we have human rights by some stupid committee that, on a whim, on a leftist whim, can just take them away and say, oh no, you have to go into a COVID camp. That can say, oh no, globally we need to censor this video of a jihadi stabbing because it's embarrassing for our mass immigration policy. Like, there is absolutely no excuse for Australia to have a state-funded media. There is absolutely no excuse for it, especially in the age of the internet. What is that besides government propaganda? Like, you're not getting independent journalism out of those things. Like, have a look at, like, the whole Pfizer thing. That is still uninvestigated. Have a look at the mass excess death. That is still uninvestigated. Like, years ago now, with all the blood clot stuff, what was the Rumble documentary? Died Suddenly. I don't know if you guys remember that, where they had the big thick white clots and they were pulling them out of bodies in the morgue in America. I don't know if you remember that or anything. That's still pretty uninvestigated. By the way, that wasn't disproven either.
beyond saving.
Damn it.
Must be nearby. Run while you can. No! Are they?
Just ahead! They've got a shotgun! No! way! Come on, start a sweep. Find where they're hiding.
Got him! Over there! Look out! Got her!
No! Damn! There you are!
Damn. Stick with me, love. Yeah. May she protect us.